What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another episode of the Just Chillin podcast live Q&A. I see a lot of you guys are already in here. It makes a lot of sense. Today was the first unofficial day of NFL free agency. The first official day is technically Wednesday, but as of today at 12 p.m., tampering was allowed, which means teams were allowed to go and speak to the agents of players and speak to the players themselves and try to work out contracts. And, well, I lost count by the time 5 o'clock rolled around today with the amount of moves that were made, the amount of players that signed with new teams or re-signed with their old teams. There was quite a bit of moves that went on today. Of course, zero Giants ones, which got a lot of people a little angsty, like, what is our front office doing? And whatnot. And I feel like maybe some people are losing sight of what this offseason was supposed to be. I'll get into that a bit later. But my initial thoughts on it, right before I went live, another big signing went through. Corey Davis, former wide receiver of the Tennessee Titans, and technically a target free agent for the Giants, signed with the New York Jets. So he came to New York, but not to the right team. So he went there. I'm not sure how much he got. And before Davis signed, Nelson Aguilar earlier in the day, I think he signed with the Patriots, and that was like a $13 million deal. And other than that, I think the Patriots also signed Kendrick Bourne. The Patriots were really active today in free agency. They got a linebacker as well. But the Giants, once again, all quiet on the Western Front for the New York Giants. We were looking at wide receivers right now, like Kenny Golladay is the most popular target for most people. That's why he's in the thumbnail. There's rumors rampant today that Kenny Golladay is meeting with the Giants. Kenny Galladay's agent is speaking to the Giants. The Giants are looking to sign Kenny Golladay. The Giants are pursuing Kenny Golladay heavily. And depending on how you look at it, Galladay's either the second best or the best wide receiver on the market right now. Well, I guess technically he's the best because A-Rob is not on the market since he was franchise tagged, technically. But there's rumors saying that the Giants have the best shot of Golladay. It's between them and the Jags. And it might be a cheaper contract because we've noticed it with the edge rushers. The edge rushers have been signing for real cheap contracts today, and we'll get into that as well with how that affects Leonard Williams because Leo's looking for 20 mil plus, and the best edge rusher on the market signed for 18 mil. That tells you a lot about where these teams are at and what money they could give away to the players. And then in terms of receivers, I think the highest contract was probably Nelson Aguilar today for just 13 mil. So that puts a guy like Kenny Golladay, who we were all expecting to also get 20 plus mil. He's probably going to sign for like 16, 17, which is less and a blessing in disguise for the Giants. That being said, I'm going to get the super chat, and I'm going to pop in the first guest for tonight. Shout out to Mike Nixon for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it, Mike. Great support of the channel and a member. He says, we have our backup running back, Devontae Booker, 2 years, 6. That just went through. The Giants just made a signing? Mike, live here. We got breaking news live on the stream. When we look this up, the Giants signed Devontae Booker. Let me spell that name correctly. Somebody in the chat, double check for me. I did not see this anywhere. Trust me. Not in the world that I expect us to sign anybody. I'm not seeing anything about him. Mike. You got me kind of excited for a second. I'm not seeing anything about Devontae Booker anywhere, and the Giants signing him 2 years, 6 mil. With all that being said, he got me excited for a second. I didn't expect Mike to throw out a joke like that on a super chat. Let me get Nate in here. He's going to be the first one on. I'm also expecting Diggy a bit later on and Kid Blue as well. Here we go. What up, Nate? I'll give you yeah, go ahead.
I was trying to get your attention. That is real.
It's real?
Yeah, that's confirmed.
By who? I'm not seeing it anywhere. We signed Devontae Booker. Mm-hmm. Yes, I see it now from NFL Update. The Giants are signing former Broncos and Raiders running back Devontae Booker to a 2-year, $6 million deal. Likely back up to Saquon. This means Wayne Gallman is gone, guys. Wayne Gallman is gone.
I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm going to miss Wayne Gallman, but I love this move. $3 million average for a running back that I think is very good. I think Devontae Booker offers a lot of upside. It should tell you guys something that he was stealing reps from Josh Jacobs. That should tell you guys something.
You want to give them a little bit more insight here, Nate? Because I'm going to keep it real with you. I know basically nothing about this guy.
Sure. So Devontae Booker was throughout this entire year stealing reps from Josh Jacobs. The Raiders were actively trying to figure out how to get both of them on the field and get both of them their touches. Devontae Booker is a really, really good running back. I think he's an excellent backup option. And for $3 million per, I really like this move.
This also means we don't have to use any draft picks on a backup running back now. So I'm liking that a lot as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a big fan of this.
You said he was stealing reps from Josh Jacobs. You sure that wasn't maybe like a rookie thing, or maybe it was like Jacobs was like, I don't know, a bit hampered, or was he like legitimately taking reps for him?
So first off, Josh Jacobs, I don't think there was anything with injuries last year.
We got more breaking news. Bud Dupree signed the Titans.
Yikes. That makes a lot of sense.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Bud Dupree to the Titans. That makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense as a fit. They needed a guy like him. But in terms of Devontae Booker, as far as I know, Josh Jacobs didn't have injury problems. So just in terms of Devontae Booker taking reps, it was because he was earning them. And you can tell because he was actually making stuff out of it. He was having some good reps last year. I think he's a great backup running back. I think he's a great breather back for Saquon. I like this move for $3 million.
What kind of is he a power guy, agile guy? What kind of style would you say he is?
A little bit of everything. He can definitely get behind his pads and push, but he's got some good agility to him.
Kind of reminds me, most people don't really adjust or what you call it, think about power when you think about Saquon. But Saquon, in my opinion, is a little bit of everything back. So that's almost like that's a good backup. That's a really good backup there.
100%. I really like that move.
So I really did not expect that. We go live and immediately we got 2 breaking news signings: Bud Dupree to the Titans, and then Devontae Booker to the Giants. And somebody's saying something. Yeah, there. And somebody is saying that the Eagles, Bryson Sports Talk is saying that the Eagles are wasting money. Who did the Eagles get? I'm not sure who the Eagles got. I'm all for the Eagles wasting money. And Viz is saying, get Kenny Golladay. Please, just get Kenny Golladay, guys. And people are already starting to turn on Dave Gettleman, and he hasn't even done anything bad yet. Chill. I'm really confident. Depending on what happens with the Solder contract and the Solder restructure, we're going to get like $8 million at least back from that contract, right? 8 to 10 mil. You add in the fact that with the whole pass rushing situation, what the edge rushers have been signing for today, and like it's very clear that Leonard Williams, in my opinion, is not going to get the contract he's seeking. Yeah. That's a potential $19 million being freed up there because there's a really good chance we either trade him or rescind the tag. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. I agree 100% with that. I think in terms of the Leonard Williams thing, I think the most likely thing that's going to happen right now is that he gets rescinded. It is obviously still possible that we work something out with him, although it seems more unlikely by the minute. Mm-hmm. I also think it's definitely still a possibility that he gets tagged and traded. That's definitely still a very real possibility. It just seems like the most likely course is for him to get the tag rescinded. And in terms of Kenny Golladay, I got to say, as much as I'd love to see him in Giants blue, as much as I think he makes a lot of sense for the offense we run, I would not be mad if we didn't sign him. I don't really think I'd be too upset about it. For one, just because this receiving class is so deep. It's so deep. And for two, because it's not as if we're missing
and another breaking news signing. The offensive lineman that Diggy, myself, and a lot of other people wanted the Giants to get, Matt Fielder, just signed a 3-year, $21 million deal with the Los Angeles Chargers to strengthen their O-line, guys. So if you're just tuning in, because I just saw a little bit of spiking viewers, 3 signings occurred. The Giants signing their what looks to be the backup running back in Devontae Booker. The contract details aren't. 2 years, $6 million. On that, Bud Dupree signs with the Titans. I didn't get to see his contract details. And now Matt Fielder signs a 3-year, $21 million deal with Los Angeles. Nate, real quick, because people are tuning in and the news continues to break. Nate knows more about Devontae Booker than I do, so I'm going to let him quickly give the spiel there again.
Yeah, sure. For those that are just tuning in, Devontae Booker is an excellent backup running back. He's got a whole lot of skills to him. I think he's going to come in and take a lot of great reps for us, give Saquon some breathing room. He's going to be really great for us. For those that don't know, he was stealing reps from Josh Jacobs last year. That should tell you what his upside is. He's a great player. I love it, especially for $3 million a year for 2 years. Great signing.
And this, guys, obviously means that Wayne Gallman's probably not back. And here's the thing, right? I don't even think this is a situation where it's like Wayne was probably requesting too much money, rather than it's a situation where the Giants probably saw Booker. If he's as good as you say, they probably saw him on the market. They're like, we can't pass up on this guy as our backup. We're going to get him.
Yeah.
And then now another breaking. The Titans are breaking the bank. The Patriots were breaking the bank earlier today. Now, according to Bryson, I'm going to see whenever this pops up here, the Titans signed Kendall Lamb. 2 years, $8.5 million. I'm gonna wait for that to pop up on my screen sometime here over Twitter. But let's see. I don't see it yet.
It's Rappaport. I see it.
It's Rappaport. All right, let me just go over to Ian Rappaport. And I usually just Can you read the contract details out? Oh, well, that is the contract details.
Titans are signing former Browns offensive tackle Kendall Lamb to a 2-year deal up to $8.5 million.
Jesus. What do you think about that?
I think it makes sense. I think he's a good, solid tackle for them to get. Shores up some of that offensive line issues. They didn't have a huge need there, but it makes a lot of sense considering the tackle market. I think a lot of these moves have made a whole lot of sense. There's a lot of logical pieces falling into place.
You know what? That's a really good point bringing up. Every single move that happened today, I haven't seen one that made me go, "Oh, that's kind of stupid," or "That's out of left field." Like these teams are working really well with the limited cap that they have, and the needs that they're actually trying to fulfill.
And I will say, those of you that were really shocked by the Patriots going out and breaking the bank today, you weren't paying attention, my man.
They almost had to.
Yeah, I mean, almost they did.
Yeah.
I think when you see what situation they were in, Bill Belichick just ran one of the worst offenses of his career, not because the system wasn't working, but because
there was
just
like
had no talent. There's no one there. And then you look and see, oh wait, they have the third most cap space in the entire league. They have $70 million. And you see the absolute flooding of the market with all these players. It had to happen. I told a lot of people this morning the Patriots are going to be going out with the extra large shopping cart today, and they did. Makes sense.
And real quick, shout out to Joseph Balby. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Joseph! Great support channel. One of the GOAT mods in here, always posting everybody's links in the chat. Love you, Joseph. Have a good one. Frankie G, I did see that, so we're having a kind of another small spike here. So that's 4 or 5 signings now since we started the stream. First one was Devontae Booker to the Giants. Nate literally just covered him, so I'm not going to make him do it again. Good signing as a backup running back. Second one was Bud Dupree to the Titans. Now the contract details are out. $16.5 million a year for Bud Dupree. He was probably the second best edge rusher available on the market, right behind Shaq Barrett, depending on how you look at it. Both of them under $20 million a year. So we're going to get into Leonard Williams in a second because it's obviously directly connected, in my opinion. He signed for $16.5 million a year, coming off an ACL. That was somebody I really want to target, but the Titans go and get him. So that's 2 signings. Kendall Lamb goes to the Titans as well for 2 years, $8.5 million. The Dolphins finalized a 3-year deal for Bengals fullback and tight end Seton Carter. And there's like 2 other deals that went down as we started the stream that are completely slipping my mind right now. But literally, as we started the stream, deals are going down. Shout out to Diggy and KB just tuning in. Did you guys see literally, I started the stream and 5 new deals were announced. Did you guys see them?
No, I seen a couple of them. I know that we just signed Devontae Booker, right?
Yeah,
I saw that, and I just saw this right now. Matt Fielder went to the Chargers. So
yeah, that was one of the other ones. Matt Fielder went to the Chargers. Yep,
$7 million. That's what I thought he'd get, but
yeah,
maybe some of the money we just gave Devontae Booker could have went towards that.
I mean, Devontae Booker, from what I'm hearing, is a good signing though.
I mean, he's a good signing.
Yeah, it's just we just needed a guard.
We could have paid someone $300,000 to do the same thing.
I disagree.
At the draft.
There is no link, Benny. It's not a call-in. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I could see both sides. Yeah, Devontae Booker struggled to get on the field with the Broncos. I mean, it was a running back. It was
with the Broncos.
Yeah, with the Broncos, and then he was with the Raiders, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
he's playing good football.
Yeah, he's playing good football, but I don't mind a Devontae Booker signing. I just wish we started off
a year for a backup running back. I like that.
How much?
I mean, I'm not angry about it.
$3 million.
How much? Not bad. And hey,
million.
that officially means Wayne Gallman is not coming back.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
That officially means Wayne Gallman's gone. I don't mind the signing whatsoever, but it's like I wanted the guard or the edge rusher or wide receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Don't rule it out. Don't rule it out now.
Yeah. I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying the first day of free agency, I just posted on Twitter. I was like, yes, I'm so hyped up for tampering. And then we resign Austin Johnson and we get Devontae Booker. All right.
Austin Johnson.
We had a meeting with Kenny
Golladay. To me, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Austin Johnson is a good, depth.
Yeah, Austin Johnson's a good player. He's a really good player.
Yeah, and honestly, I really don't have a whole lot to complain about at this point with how the free agency period has gone. I know there's some guys we all would have liked to see in Giants blue, but then you just kind of look at what the number situation was, and I know we could have made some of these guys work, but at some point, some of these just would have been inefficient signings, I think. And especially with what the market's looking like and how many great names there still are out there to go get for cheap deals once the dust settles. I like the approach. I like sitting back and taking it slow and waiting our time.
Wait a second.
Kenny
What's
Golladay
going on in
doesn't
the
really...
chat? Everybody's spent. Oh, okay. They're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, no, I was like, when we finish this, we're gonna get to Golladay because they want us to talk about Golladay.
And I know specifically concerning Golladay, that mentality doesn't really fit what we'd have to do to go get him. But honestly, as much as I'd love to see him in Giants blue, he's a great receiver. I wouldn't be too really upset if we didn't go out and sign him. I think there's just so much receiving talent in this draft. He's going to cost a fair bit of money unless that report, which sounded questionable, was right. He's going to take 15 million. I think not.
And let me tell you something right now. Even if that was true, Corey Davis got signed for 12.5. You already
might have gone back up.
Yeah, you already know the Galladay's agent was like, bro, this guy just got signed for 12.5.
And I just look at that and I think, as good a receiver as he is, there are some injury concerns. He's not super young. There's other options out there in the draft this year. My heart's not broken if we don't go out and sign him.
Listen, bro, Joseph Balby's birthday wish, because it's his birthday today, we already wished him a happy birthday, was to sign Golladay. That was his wish.
Well, in that case,
wish.
It's a must-have at that point.
Nah, but yeah, as I see Hub with no glasses tuning into the chat, Kenny Golladay, like, you know what Golladay reminds me of? Last year in free agency, there was one player that was heavily connected to the Giants on the first day as tampering as well, and then nothing happened. It was Yannick Ngakoue, who, by the way, also signed for such a cheap contract. And I keep saying we're going to get to the Leonard Williams thing. We're going to get to it. But because you guys literally spammed Golladay in the chat, we have to talk Golladay first. The receivers that signed so far, I think the biggest contract was the 13 mil one by Nelson Aguilar, right?
Where did he go?
That sounds about right.
He went to the Patriots.
He went to New England.
They just signed Henry Anderson.
Yeah, they also signed Kendrick Bourne. The Patriots went all out in free agency.
The Patriots signed Kendrick Bourne too?
Yeah.
Yeah, KB, you are behind, my man.
Well,
yeah, you know they signed Jonnu Smith, right?
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not.
You know they signed Jonnu Smith, right?
Yeah, I know that. I knew that. And yeah, they signed Jonnu Smith and they got somebody else. They
got an inside defensive lineman from the Jets. The Patriots, they went all out, as they should have. You know, like Nate said, they had the third most cap space in the league. It's not really something people should be surprised by. But the biggest, wide receiver contract that went through so far was Aguilar for 13 mil. And then somebody else went for 12.5. I don't know why I'm forgetting their name.
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis went for 12.5
in the chat.
Yeah. Shout out to OGR Sports. Thank you, OGR member, and for the $10 super chat. He says, "Love the roundtable, guys. I may have to come back. I see a lot of Giants fans talking absolute nonsense.
Yeah, man.
People don't get the reality of the Giants.
Come back as one giant rebuttal, man. We missed that.
You know where I know for a fact he's been seeing the nonsense. There's this place called Twitter.
Oh yeah, the magical world of Twitter.
You go to Twitter and you get an ulcer.
That one app, Twitter. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Exactly. And Judon went to New England as well. Yeah, we're gonna get into the pass rushers eventually. But Corey Davis.
Oh, Judon was the guy that I was trying to think of. But thank
Corey
God.
Davis. Would you guys rank him as the higher free agent prospect before he signed compared to Nelson Aguilar?
I actually saw them pretty similarly. Me personally, I saw them at pretty much the same level.
I saw them similarly, except I think Corey Davis had more production than Nelson Aguilar. Like, Nelson Aguilar had a really good year this year, but besides this year, you really couldn't say he had any great years.
I would say he looked really good in 2017. Nelson Aguilar looked really good.
I think when I was looking at them, I didn't think there was a huge gap, but I would have definitely said that I would have called it definitive that Corey Davis was the better free agent.
He signed for less money.
Right. I definitely wouldn't have thought that happened. And I'll tell you why it happened. It's because the Patriots committed to paying more than they probably should have so they could load up this offseason. And it's like I said before, if y'all didn't see this coming, y'all weren't looking. They needed these weapons. They had the third most cap space in the league. They had $70 million to play with. It just made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah,
it just made sense.
Come on now, Saquon liked and retweeted Golladay in the big blue uniform. Yeah, we all saw that.
That means it's gonna happen.
People are acting like Saquon is lit like the GM. Like Saquon tells Gettleman, like, no,
it's the NBA. Remember, it's the NBA.
it's not gonna happen. I mean, I hope it happens. I think, like me personally, I really think it's going to happen. I just think it's going to happen.
Why do you think it's going to happen?
I just think it's going to happen. I think that they know that they need to give him a weapon.
that they could get in the draft.
No, I think they want to give him a proven receiver. I mean, I love these top 3 receivers, and I love Rashad Bateman, but you cannot really put all of that pressure on because think about it. We bring in Jalen Waddle the first 3 weeks. He doesn't go off for 150 yards a game. People are going to call him a bust because we're saying that this is the savior of our receiving core and the savior of our offense. So I think they would rather put that pressure on someone who's a veteran receiver who's done it at a high level before.
Yeah, I'm seeing people saying Bud
until they get out big.
We already covered that, guys. We're gonna circle back to it, but I'm sorry to interrupt you, Diggy, because I see now they're not necessarily spam, but a couple people saying Bud Dupree to the Titans. But go ahead, Nate.
I was just gonna respond. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think a lot of what you're saying makes sense in terms of the Giants know they need to get Jones a weapon, and I know that Golladay would definitely be a proven option. But by that same token, you're looking at the same situation if he gets injured in week 3, right? You're looking at that same situation with whatever it is with Gettleman. He couldn't get the weapons to get it done or something like that. And I think at the end of the day, I understand that what the media says does play a role. And I know that what fans say does play a role to a certain extent. But at the same time, I think that's definitely a secondary thing to general managers. I think if Gettleman makes the decision that drafting makes more sense and is a better move, that's going to be what it is. If he decides that Golladay is the better move, that's going to be what it is.
Exactly.
So for me, I tend to think that given the numbers situation, he's going to end up going with the cheaper option, which is either sign a guy like Curtis Samuel, which I hope doesn't happen, but either sign a cheaper guy like him or go to the draft. I just tend to think it's going to be the draft.
No. What I'm saying is I think that he'll be a Giant, but the thing that I'm basically saying I think he'll be a Giant because I think they're going to continually to aggressively pursue him. So if we get outbid by the Jags and they want to give him like $19 million, I think the Giants will just say, okay, that's it. Well, we're going to draft.
I think Curtis Samuel has been signed. Curtis Samuel just signed to the Jags for 12 minutes, so we're getting Kenny Golladay, bro. Get that out of here.
I didn't even see that. My God. Speak of the devil.
This man's gone. Yo, Hub is gone.
Hub has left the chat.
Did he accidentally unplug his computer? Well, no,
he must have.
You know what's funny though?
My bad.
Got a little too.
But I want to go back to the Devontae Booker thing. I know that Devontae Booker is a good player, but I still feel that we could have got someone to be comparable to him for out of the draft. I could have done that personally.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Listen, I know Mike Too Nice is my boy, and I know we differ a lot of things, but I was just scrolling through his Twitter, but he makes a good point. He said, first of all, running back is not a day one investment when you're trying to fix this team. In this team in particular, it wasn't a day one investment. I don't know why and on top of that, Devontae Booker's last contract was for a veteran minimum of $800,000. Why did we pay him $3 million? Why did we invest $3 million into him?
That might be his market.
Plain and simple.
It might be his market, but then you move on and you re-sign Alfred Morris. Right?
What?
Not Alfred Morris.
I disagree.
Alfred Morris for $1 million?
First off, I think at the end of the day, is it a comparable option to bring Morris back and be the RB2?
Right, guys,
sure.
Another breaking news right here. Real quick, I haven't seen the Curtis Samuel to the Jags yet. So Zach, if you trolled me, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Carl Lawson left.
But yeah, Carl Lawson.
There's Carl Lawson with the Jets.
With the Jets.
The Jets are making some good signings.
The Jets are making some pretty.
What was it? They don't have the contract details yet. But if he's another pass rusher that's signed for under 20, and I expect him to sign for under 18, maybe even under 16, like most of them have, we're gonna get to Leonard Williams soon. This man is tripping.
Yeah. But anyway, though, just to cap off what I was saying about Devontae Booker, I think my point here is that Diggy, you're talking about guys in the draft that we could get, and KB, you're talking about Alfred Morris. I think my response to that is just Devontae Booker is going to play better than any of those guys.
He's going to play better than all of the day 3 running.
All right, let me give you.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I'd say so, but here's the thing. Say I know it's an insurance plan, which leads me back to day one investment. It really wasn't worth it. But if Saquon Barkley comes back 100% healthy and he has 80% of the snaps, why do we pay him $3 million?
Bro, are you really complaining about $3 million?
I'm not. I don't care about
that. I am, because it all adds up. It all
$3 million.
KB,
My disagreement with
he would have
that.
been around $3 million too. If
But
No, he would be around $5
million. I wasn't gonna resign Ryan Goldman. He wasn't in my plans.
I don't think
my
$3 million
response
is
to
something to be
KB
worried about.
My response to KB is that he's saying why are we worried about $3 million for 20% of the snaps? Because for that extra $2 million, those 20% of the snaps are going to be way better. Is my response to that.
I gotta think as well, because remember, it's not just DG making moves. Like we've all said millions of times, the coaching staff has a role in it as well. I'm pretty sure Burton Burns and Judge were probably looking at their best options at backup running back, and they judged, pun intended, that this guy was the best option. I wouldn't be surprised, as much as I personally don't like it, if they really do give this man a good amount of snaps next year in order to decrease the load on Saquon.
I like Booker. I watched him out of Utah. Listen, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I thought he was going to be a lot better than he came out, but he struggled with injuries, struggled to get some playing time with a stacked Broncos, running back core there. With nobody knew Philip Lindsay was going to turn out the way he did. I believe they came out in the same draft class, and I think Booker was either late round or undrafted. Correct me if I'm wrong, but something like that. But I liked Booker a lot. It's just I don't know, man. I believe that the Giants should be penny pinching for guys like Kenny Golladay. They should be penny pinching. And listen, if Booker was signed later for $3 million, maybe I'd be more okay with it. That's pretty much what I'm getting at. I didn't think this should have been a go-to thing. Overpay for a backup running back, and
I don't think you're overpaying though.
I think you are, man.
Yeah,
especially when we have a top 5 running back where he gets the majority of the carries. It's not a running back by committee when he's out there.
Yeah, but you're not. Even if it was a running back by committee, that's not the same thing as this. He's a backup running back. $3 million for a backup running back is pretty good considering how good of a backup running back he is. And yeah, in response to the Kenny Golladay thing, what you're saying is absolutely right. If you want to go and sign Kenny Golladay, these are the moves you don't make. You're absolutely right about that. Those are the pennies you pinch for Kenny Golladay. My response is I'm not as gung-ho on signing Kenny Golladay as some other people are, so I tend to be okay with this stuff.
Okay. I think they're saying the Curtis Samuel thing was fake.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing it at all. I mean, the only team that got eliminated from the the Golladay sweepstakes, if that's what we want to call it, would be the Jets, because they got Corey Davis.
Yeah, they're not double dipping right there.
Yeah, the Dolphins are also in on it, according to Cameron Wolf right here. So Dolphins and Jags are still going to be stiff competition to go against to get Kenny Golladay, depending on what they want to do. Though, I mean, if they want to, what, I said this in my video when they released Van Noy. I was like, people are saying they're freeing up money for one of the quarterbacks. They could be freeing up money to get a wide receiver. That way they could comfortably go with Sewell at 3.
Oh, God,
but Kenny Golladay is exactly the kind of receiver that they already have. They already have to go up and get at wide receiver.
The thing is, when you say that, Dolphins fans, they usually comment and say that they don't like their receivers already.
Really?
So I guess it's just technically we have a speedster and Darius Slayton, but we wouldn't mind replacing them. So
I guess.
And if you look at the Dolphins' philosophy, they like stacking up on certain positions. Like look at cornerback. They have 2 $15 million corners, and then they drafted one in the first round. So they like stacking. They like stacking positions. So I understand that. So I mean, they could be a team that swoops up and takes Kenny, bro, because
that's just a personal thing to me. Then I don't know.
Yeah, it's just they have the potential. Like if they have the money and they have the future set out for Kenny Golladay, he's going. The Miami Dolphins are in a better spot than we are. Sad to say.
Definitely.
But.
I do gotta say though, and the KB, this is not to you. I'm seeing people on Twitter that are legit angry about the Devontae Booker signing.
I don't know why you could be angry. If you guys gotta watch Devontae Booker, go watch him. Even in his Bronco days,
at the end of the day, I'll say people that were really high on Gallman at the end of the season, if you're angry at the Devontae Booker signing, doesn't make sense. Because you high on Wayne Gallman is you acknowledging that a running back 2 is important. We just got a running back 2.
Check this out. People, I want people to understand it. I think Booker could be better than Gallman.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I think Booker can be better than Gallman.
I think he's better than Gallman day one.
I love Gallman as much as the next guy. This is an upgrade to me.
Yeah, and I know people are so caught up on Gallman because of what he did for us this year, similar to what, how Orleans Darkwa did for us in 2017. All made us fall in love with him and didn't want to move on from him. But listen, there are other running backs like him out there. Running back is my favorite position. It's in my freaking username, okay? It's my favorite position, but they are interchangeable. You can get a running back pretty much anywhere. So
absolutely.
And speaking of running backs, other breaking news: this concerning a running back, the Broncos are giving Philip Lindsay the low restricted free agent tender. That's literally the tweet from Adam Schefter. No other details about that.
Okay, then.
Yeah, Philip Lindsay dropped off. He did fell off a cliff. It's because of his injuries. He gets injured a lot too. And remember, hey guys, let's just laugh about this. Remember when everybody said Philip Lindsay was better than Saquon Barkley?
That was actually
I don't remember that.
That was
actually a thing.
Yeah.
It was because they were both rookies.
Yeah, they were both rookies, and they had somewhat similar stats. Saquon still had better stats, but you watch on film, and you could see who's better.
Similar rushing stats.
Yeah.
Similar rushing.
Not even close to receiving, right? Not even close to receiving at all.
That's ridiculous in every possible way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Some of these Twitter accounts give me ulcers, bro. Like one of these accounts has got like 100 likes and retweets on a tweet that said Giants doing nothing. I'm not surprised. I'm like, let's get to that for a second.
Oh my God!
We all knew before the Golladay hype started today. We all knew what the general plan was gonna be for Giants. It wasn't gonna be that they were gonna be one of those aggressive teams unless something like incredible happened.
Like I said, I think they're gonna pursue Golladay, and if that falls through, they're just gonna go back to Plan B, which is probably pursuing Hassan Reddick, a mid kind of tier guard, and that's pretty much it. And just filling out the depth of the team.
Yeah, and I was just joking about that tweet I put out about the Giants not doing anything. But listen,
that wasn't you, by the way. I was referring to.
No, I know. But I put out a tweet out there as well. Just a little meme there. But this had to be expected, guys. We've been talking again and again and again every single live stream about how the Giants are such in a restricted spot with their cap space, and they really don't have any room to do a lot of stuff, especially day one. Don't even talk about day one, because day one, the highest offers are going to go out. The highest bidders are going to go out. The Giants are the type of team this year that are going to get slim pickings. They're going to get the slim pickings. They're going to get guys that are probably that had a huge price and then eventually have to go back down. Maybe we can get some value guys out there. Who knows? But the Giants you aren't going to see. Listen, as much as everybody wanted to see it, and I don't want to put any bad voodoo out there, but listen, you weren't going to see Kenny Golladay sign day one for the Giants. You just weren't.
I agree.
Because we weren't going to be the highest bidder.
So two things. Diggo 645. There's your acknowledgement. Diggo's back. I think he was there yesterday.
No.
Diggy has yet to change his name, so he lied to y'all. And shout out to Max Webster for the $2 super chat. He says, at this point, is Leo even in blue next year? So let's just hop into it.
No.
I can't see it.
Shaq Barrett got signed for $17 million?
Every single edge rusher, not just pass rusher, because the edge is more valuable than a general pass rusher. Every single edge signed for below 20 mil. The best edge signed for 18 is technically a $17 million deal. It only averages out to 18 if he fills out his incentives. And then the second best one, coming off of ACL, signed for 16 and a half. Everybody else signed for like between the 12 to $14 million range.
Yeah.
We're not exciting this man. I can't see it happening.
I'll tell you what. I don't think it's impossible, but I definitely don't think it's likely. At this point, I think the most likely courses of action the most likely is rescind. The second most likely is just trade him straight up for whatever we can get for him.
I think Tana said it. Dave Gettleman rescinded before with Josh Norman.
With Josh Norman, yeah.
Okay? Yeah. He rescinded because he wanted too much. He wanted too much. In a contract negotiation, and he wasn't budging. And if Leonard Williams doesn't budge, please don't budge. Please stand your ground. Stand your ground. Yeah, Leonard Williams, stand your ground. Say you want $25 million, so we can rescind your contract, throw you off somewhere else, and we save that money. I'll tell you what, if we get rid of Leonard Williams right now, we automatically can be the highest bidder for Kenny Golladay.
Yeah, no, because that frees up 19 mil immediately.
Yeah, we could.
By the way,
that's what I mean, man. Like the whole why haven't they rescinded the tag? I don't get it. Like,
Dave
they have to be talking about a deal
negotiations.
Right now. Gettleman's a little prideful. He's a little prideful. By the way, that's his guy.
Big Blue Wrecking Crew in the chat says Kenny G's Wikipedia says he's a New York Giant, and they
change it every day.
That was hilarious.
That kids is why all of your middle school teachers tell you can't use Wikipedia as a source on your projects.
They also said that he plays point guard for the New York Giants.
oh, did they?
Yeah, no, it says that.
Okay.
And at one point during the day, it said he was 3'1" and weighed 890 pounds as well.
They've been changing it all day.
Yeah.
Planet shaped.
Shout out to
3'1",
Nikki in the chat,
800
my
pounds,
very
just-
first
just
member.
a dense planetary shape is
Oh
Kenny
my
Golladay.
goodness.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
no, like if the whole Leo thing, Diggy, you gave your thoughts. KB gave his thoughts. Nate, did you give your thoughts
On
on Leo and the contract?
Yeah, I think I touched on it briefly. But just in general, I think it's not impossible that he'll be back in Giants blue by any stretch. I think it's definitely still a possibility. It's just incredibly unlikely. And every passing minute, it becomes more unlikely. We kind of knew this was what was going to happen as soon as he got tagged. This is the window of what we knew was going to happen. We tagged him specifically with the purpose of trying to negotiate a new deal. And as the time went on, the already unlikely situation of that new deal coming through became even more unlikely.
And I gotta say,
what's going on with the Jamar Chase slander in the chat though?
What?
I don't see any Jamar Chase slander in the chat.
Yeah, people do that to get us angry, dude. I promise
Donde
you.
está?
I don't see it.
I don't see
Said,
it.
hey, yo, KB, you watch film. Tell Nate how overrated Jamar Chase is.
Oh, is that Dylan? Is that Dylan?
Who
Where
said
are
that?
you, Dylan?
Who said it?
I don't even see it.
It was
I bet
Dylan
anything it's Dylan. Where are you?
Renner. Listen, Renner's a
Dylan,
troll.
there he is. Dylan, I swear.
Renner's a troll, and I'm sorry, Renner. He's my
No,
bodyguard.
he's not a troll. He's not a troll. Dylan is not a troll, I don't think.
Yeah,
He's
by the
he's
way,
my troll. He's my troll.
Yeah,
your
Jameis
troll?
Winston,
Yeah, he's my
guys.
troll. He's my
Jameis
bodyguard.
Winston is re-signing with the New Orleans Saints.
got an
1 year
expensive
deal,
role.
max value of 12 mil. So another signing there.
Max
And I'm happy with that because last night on Diggy's channel we were literally talking about we kind of feel bad for Winston, with the whole Taysom Hill thing. That he's probably gonna ride the bench. I don't know what's gonna happen over there. To be honest with you,
Who the hell knows? I mean, do you remember when Drew Brees walked off the field and said to Jameis Winston,
like, this is your team now.
Like, Drew,
Yeah.
buddy.
It's a 50-50
No,
thing.
don't be doing that, Drew.
They're gonna play
no,
50%
don't do
of the
that.
snaps each.
Honestly.
But yeah, like I was saying on the Leo thing, we really got lucky in my opinion. Like our luck, because Leo had all the leverage before these pass rushers started signing.
Yes.
As soon as they started signing, everything went in NYG's favor. And I gotta say, I'm happy. I'm not sure if it's gonna be permanent, like going into next offseason, but at least for this offseason, the edge rushing market has been officially reset. Like it's not something that's gonna kill your team anymore.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we
year.
did. Yeah, what happened?
I was just saying, at least just for this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if it's going to be permanent or if it's just for this year, but we got really blessed with that.
Well, to clarify that, I think let's be really specific here. The numbers are still going to keep going up, but relative to just the percentage of your cap that the edges are going to kill, it's flattening that out. The numbers, obviously, as with all contracts, are going to keep going up as the economy expands. But just in terms of what percentage of your cap you have to spend on the best edge rusher on your team, it's not going to be that much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, with the whole Leo thing, I just
guys, we were just talking about Wayne Gallman, right? And how he's basically God.
Yeah.
Wayne
There you
Gallman
go.
just retweeted the Carl Lawson signing to the Jets thing and said God is good, tagging Carl Lawson. Imagine if Wayne goes across the
scared me, man.
the
What
third
the
he can
pipe.
go to the Jets. I mean, I don't care where he goes. But the Leo thing, I'm just convinced that Dave Gettleman is going to bring him back anyway. And I would not be surprised. People don't think that this is going to happen, but I really wouldn't be surprised if we pay him like $22 million and then be the only team that paid this much for a rusher. I would not be surprised. I really think he's that prideful.
I just saw
That's
a
what I
good tweet, by the way.
said. He's very, very pride. Dave Gettleman's prideful. He will go to the ends of the earth to prove to everybody he was right.
Thanksgiving.
By the way, just saw a pretty good tweet. It's 3rd and 7, and you're looking at Quinnen, Franklin Myers, Carl Lawson. Tua might actually die on the field. He might. It's possible.
I mean, if they don't do anything about that line, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Joseph, this is why I think that
Corvette.
this is why I'm gonna go in the opposite direction of
Stop.
Diggy, and why I
Stop.
think that there is a chance that we just rescind the tag and let this man walk, or we trade him, because Gettleman, I don't think Gettleman he's prideful, but I don't think he's as prideful as like to the point where he's gonna keep a guy to the detriment of the team. Like, I think he will, if push comes to shove, let him go. Now, obviously, if this man ends up signing him to a $20+ million deal, I'm gonna freak out.
He's gonna
but
do it.
but I don't think it's gonna happen just because the market where it is right now. I really can't see it happening. People keep saying Ravens. Who's saying Ravens? According to my little
What's
word.
going on?
Anything.
Something about the Ravens. I saw in the chat. Shout out to Jay Berman in here.
Golladay went to the Ravens or something. I don't know. Let me see.
I don't know.
Yeah.
haven't seen anything.
Well, we shall see. And Joel's pretty right on this one. No matter what happens, Giants fans are gonna hate.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they hated on the Austin Johnson move, bro. They
Yeah,
hated on
if we
us
sign
re-signing
Golladay
him.
right now, Giants fans are gonna be on Twitter angry. that we signed Golladay.
People don't know about depth signings. Like
Sorry.
they're like, oh my god, they're putting their offseason into a
What's
Austin
happening,
Johnson.
Timeout.
We're on.
What was that tweet an hour ago from Jonathan Jones that just got retweeted? The Dolphins will soon make a free agent wide receiver a very rich man. After that, some of these guys will have to make decisions on whether they play 2021 on a one-year deal and hit free agency again next year. What exactly do you mean, Jonathan?
Who is that even?
It's a verified account. I know that.
Probably a Dolphins beat reporter or something.
Well, I mean, the only receiver that's come to mind is obviously Galladay in terms
It's
of making
not a
somebody
good
very rich
sign,
man.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. As we stand right here, 9:10 p.m. on this day, what is your dream scenario? Meaning it's probably not going to happen, but what would your dream scenario be moving forward for tomorrow and just the next couple of days? Nate, you can start off, yeah.
Sure. I think, I mean, if we're talking dream scenario, the tweet was true and we get to sign Kenny Golladay for $15 million. That's dream scenario. For $15 million, then we don't even have to worry that much about the cap, and we can probably just rescind the tag on Leo and then also bring back Dalvin Tomlinson. That's dream scenario right there.
Diggy?
My dream scenario is just, I mean, it's you almost never see this, but this is a special year, so they could push a lot of money back. So I guess my dream scenario will be somehow getting Dalvin back, getting Leo back at a reasonable price. You know, maybe he's humble and he comes back for like 17 or 16, which I don't see as happening. But this is a dream scenario, and then getting Kenny Golladay. That's my dream.
Wait,
scenario.
so your dream scenario is even as a dream scenario is kind of a stretch. Leo and Kenny.
Yeah.
Okay. And KB.
So my dream scenario would be getting rid of Leonard Williams, rescinding that tag, or if we could find a way to trade him. But wouldn't he have to sign the tag first to trade him?
No. Oh yeah.
You would have to sign this, and so that's out of the question.
But you
so
can just rescind it.
Yeah, I'm gonna rescind it, save that money, sign Dalvin, sign Hassan Reddick, and still try to go after Kenny Golladay. That's my dream scenario.
My dream scenario is gonna be I didn't realize he had to sign the tag to trade him, so I was gonna say trade Leo, but rescind the tag, trade Evan Ingram, still get a couple picks, still get some more, some money from him. You know, the Nate Solder restructure frees up like 11 million cap space for us. Like that's part of the dream scenario. We sign KG, we re-sign Dalvin, we get a secondary corner, and then in the draft, we still take a wide receiver at first. Like that's the dream scenario for me. Like we still get a wide receiver in draft even if we sign Kenny Golladay.
I'm just laughing at the Evan Ingram account. That's like the funniest thing on YouTube.
Because according to Evan Ingram, we don't need Kenny Golladay. We got
like he's all over. Like you cannot say anything about Evan Ingram without him just appearing like anywhere in the entire community. Like I make a video
it's like
about
Beetlejuice. It's like Beetlejuice. You say his name too many times, he pops up.
Like I feel like he has like 17 devices, and he's just like monitoring all of our channels.
17 iPhones, 15 Samsungs, a couple of MacBooks.
I'm just waiting for him to get on Twitter and just find him. That might be the theory though, because he doesn't do this on Twitter. So this, like I said in the YouTube chat, it might really be Evan Ingram.
Oh hell yeah, absolutely. That's Evan.
I mean, bro, there has to be an Evan Ingram burner. I'm surprised there isn't an Evan Ingram burner on Twitter because the one on YouTube has existed for like a couple months now.
I'm sure
there has to be one on Twitter, and it just has to have dropped balls memes, bro. Just all of that. Butterfinger memes.
Evan says it is me. So what do you guys think about this happened way earlier today? Was it the first signing today, or was like one of the first signings? Kevin Zeitler going to the Ravens.
That was the first one today.
That was the first one today for the price
Dude,
that he went to.
That was so disrespectful.
What?
This,
The amount of money he took?
Because
I had a Twitter argument about this, believe it or not.
that's so disrespectful. First of all, somebody said Matt Lombardo, the clown that is Matt Lombardo, said that was huge money for Kevin Zeitler. Idiot, absolute idiot. Anyway, but Kevin Zeitler, that's disrespectful, man, because I have a feeling that the Giants wanted to try to restructure the guy, and they said no. If they restructure Nate Solder, they were going to try to restructure Kevin Zeitler too, and that means he probably would have said no. I want to go to a better team, and he took $7 million to go to the Ravens.
I'm not angry at that at all.
God.
I'm not angry at all about this, and I'll tell you why. I think a lot of people on Twitter right now are losing their minds, saying, "Oh, we cut Kevin Zeitler, but we're keeping Nate Solder around."
Oh yeah, I don't blame the Giants.
Because Solder is going to save, believe it or not.
Because Kevin Zeitler cutting him saves $12 million. We were not nearly going to get that neighborhood of money if we tried to restructure him. Nate Solder, on the other hand, we are going to save maybe double the amount of money
more
by restructuring him instead of cutting him. It is a numbers game, guys. This is basic math.
Let me tell you something about Nate Solder and the fact that he did that, because first of all, I think that's somewhere around where he would have got paid if he got released anyway. But the fact that he wanted to stay with the team and kind of prove himself again, knowing that there is two young tackles there to compete with, I like that Nate Solder wanted to go ahead and give it another go. I respect it, and hopefully he plays well. I'm a huge Matt Parrott guy, but hopefully Nate Solder plays well, man.
You know what? Let me answer this question. Shout out to Mizrahi. He's been watching Chillin for a while. He says, "How am I not irate right now?" You know, I am angry because I'm angry about these Twitter accounts, bro. I just came across another one. Somebody's
dude, Twitter is toxic, bro. I gotta get off of it sometimes because sometimes I'm about to lose my. Bro, I'm about to lose my credibility on YouTube and get me banned, man. Some of these.
You know what makes me angry is that the people that tweet some of this stupid shit, they're like giant.
Bad language word,
bro. They're like giant.
It hasn't been an hour. It hasn't been an hour. It hasn't been an hour.
They're demonetized.
Like he's done. He's done, guys.
Giant channel is canceled.
That actually have a wide audience, and like people read it. People, consume it, and they like form their opinions off of it. Somebody said justifying the Devontae Booker signing is clown behavior. 2 years, $6 million is awful. Clown behavior?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. People just will do and say anything to get him in trouble.
I'm just gonna remind people. Last offseason, Twitter as well, but most of the Giants fan base, guess what? They hated all of our offseason moves. Nobody liked Blake Martinez.
Yeah, I didn't like
James Bradbury. And I could guarantee you nobody liked the fact that we tagged Leonard Williams. All three of them balled out for us.
And let me say something you already know. All right, I'm going to say something everyone in this chat already knows. Everyone on this stream already knows. Everyone that's a real Giants fan already knows. These people just like to complain. All right? They're just looking for something to be mad about. If we traded for Patrick Mahomes, they'd complain we gave up too much. Or even if we traded a 7th round pick for Patrick Mahomes, they'd say, "Oh, why didn't we do it last year?" There's just always something to complain about.
I just saw what
they're
you saw.
They're just looking for something to be mad about.
No, and I completely agree with you. Like half of these accounts, I'm convinced are just there to complain, bro. For real.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
Man.
There's another report out here. Ian Rappaport is on a roll right now. And the Lions just re-signed Romeo Okwara, 3 years, $39 million.
Earlier today,
bro. That was like one of the first re-signings today.
Oh snap! Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because I seen that Devin Kennard just retweeted and commented.
By the way,
3 minutes ago.
That's somebody who I wanted to bring in. I don't remember if he's
another
pass rusher, by the way, that signed for below like 14 mil right there.
By the way, Justin Pennick dropping even more gems on Twitter right now.
Yeah, the one
Wayne Gallman and Devontae Booker. Something they have in common. Wayne Gallman spent the third least amount of time with the ball behind the line of scrimmage per carry last year. Booker spent the least amount of time. That is get it and hit the hole type football.
So even less time than Wayne Gallman. And Wayne Gallman would hit that hole and he wouldn't pull off an Andre Williams and just stay there and wait to get tackled. You know,
he wouldn't do a Saquon.
Andre Williams.
Do a dance around in the backfield. So I have said it. I'm going to keep saying it. I like this signing. I think it makes a whole lot of sense. I think the money aspect of it is great. I just like the signing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's another good thing you bring up there. Like you said, it's get the ball, hit the hole. I mean, listen,
That's what
can
we
you
need.
say maybe it's a little too much for a backup running back?
I
Sure,
disagree.
maybe it's a little
I
too
don't
much.
think so.
I don't
But
think it is.
hey, let me finish.
I-
But
Sorry.
considering what you're getting, and it's really literally $3 million, how are you actually complaining about this? It doesn't make sense to me.
And these are the same people that are going to be upset about this, that we're saying we should re-sign Wayne Gallman for $5 million. You know what I mean?
No.
I just like
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
wasn't
make
doing
sense.
that. I already had my mind set like Gallman was gone. But I wanted to bring something to you guys' attention. You look at the running back sort of market right now, and I think this is why people are kind of upset a bit. Okay, and I can understand them a little bit, and I feel it a little bit. Okay, so you look at the running back market right now as far as salary goes. Everywhere that's around, all the backup running backs that's around where Devontae Booker is making runs a running back by committee. That's why they are being paid that much. So Latavius Murray, back by committee, Jalen Richard, Gus Edwards, Carlos Hyde just signed with Jacksonville, all around the same amount of money that Devontae Booker is making. You look at Raheem Mostert too, even Damian Williams was signed for 2.5. So that's why I guess people are a little bit upset just because of the scheme that we run. We have a top tier running back, so people didn't want a $3 million running back. You understand what I'm saying? So
I understand where you're coming from, but I'm gonna say what I said earlier to that as well, which is we don't know if we're gonna run a running back by committee or not next year. Like it could completely change. I don't want us to because I just want to run Saquon and have him go off, but it's completely viable that we do what the Saints have done with Alvin Kamara, which isn't necessary by committee. It's just having a 1-2 punch. Alvin Kamara is one of the players in the league you could legitimately compare to Saquon in terms of play style and what he does.
I don't think so because Alvin Kamara has a receiver body. That's why he can't take all those carries. You understand what I'm saying? So Saquon can. You understand?
Can he though? But not just in the receiving.
We haven't.
Yeah, right. Can he though?
Can he though? Like for real, KD.
He looks like he can. He looks like he
carries a game his entire career.
But
you know what I think
also,
it is?
not just in the receiving game, also specifically as a runner, Kamara and Saquon have similar running styles.
Yeah, their running style. Yeah, because Saquon
really
is a pretty boy. Yeah, Saquon doesn't like to have contact.
They're both really good in the open field, and then when they don't go down by arm tackles, but they're not necessarily power backs. But I mean, I agree. When I say I want to use them as a running back by committee, I mean like I want Saquon to get about 18 carries,
which he's already doing, by the way. They like he doesn't average over 20 carries a game in his career.
He's already.
Oh yeah, he's already
about
there.
18 carries. Devontae Booker get like 8 to 10 carries, and then the rest of Saquon's touches that you want your second overall pick to get about 25 touches will be coming through the air.
Exactly.
So I like that. I like that a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
Devontae Booker
I
can
very
do
well
that.
think that's going to be the offense next year when it comes to Saquon.
It should be, yeah.
I like it a whole lot. This is, by the way, this is one of those things. Sorry, I waited too long to say that, but this is one of those things that I am telling you is going to be a moment at this moment where everyone is complaining about it. All the Giants fans are complaining about the signing, and then in the fall, when it comes time for these guys to step on the field and Devontae Booker is doing exactly what we signed him for, he's playing good reps in relief of Saquon. Now everyone's going to be saying, "Oh, we got this great guy for only $3 million." And at that point, I'm going to give up on it and just be happy that we have him. That's going to be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's just
go ahead.
Oh, that's nothing.
Cool. So I'm seeing somewhere in here that Aaron Jones. There was something else here. Kareem Jackson. Was it Kareem Jackson or something like that? That the Broncos declined his 5th-year option or soming?
Yeah, didn't see it.
Yeah,
Kareem Jackson 5th-year option. What are you talking about? That dude like 30-something years old.
I was gonna.
Kareem Jackson is a grandpa.
Maybe there's another Kareem Jackson, but the one I'm thinking of is a little.
Not
Did I read it wrong?
No, that Kareem probably not a 5th-year option, but probably.
Or they might have just said option. They just said declining option. Yeah, but we're not looking at him anyway.
I'll be back, guys.
But
anyway.
Yeah, he's a safety. I mean, let's see. I'm just generally updating NFL news here.
That's something that will make me mad if we signed a safety. That's what will make me mad.
I think I may have gotten into an unintentional thing with Justin Pennick.
I just responded to Justin Pennick. And he responded to you, and I said, I don't think he was calling you a clown.
Because I just responded to him as well.
I responded on your behalf.
Yeah, because it was the same tweet that Justin made about the Wayne Gallman and Devontae Booker comment thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, obviously I agree with it. I was like, people that shit on the signing are clowns. He said, call me a clown then. I'm just tired of paying good money for dead pieces. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that you were shitting on the signing, bro.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
because I was like, did you hate on the signing, or were you saying it was just too much money? Because there's a difference. And I made it clear that from your tweet, I thought you were supportive of the signing. I guess not.
Yeah.
But that is what it is. You know, I'm just gonna get off Twitter, bro. I can't even get my thoughts across properly without somebody misinterpreting it.
To respond to Diggy, speaking of being mad about signing safeties, I don't mean to offend, and I know this is kind of awkward to say to your face, but I wasn't happy when we re-signed you, and instead of rolling with Xavier McKinney. Sorry, I had to make the joke, but yeah, I mean that's another one of those signings that you can very easily say is inefficient towards a rebuild. We drafted Xavier McKinney. He was the guy, and then as soon as he got hurt, then we brought in Leonard Williams. What am I saying? Then we brought in Logan Ryan only after Xavier McKinney, the first option, got hurt. And now Xavier McKinney, towards the end of the year, was looking good, and all signs from the organization is that they're confident in him. And then we're re-signing Logan Ryan when we have other guys to worry about this offseason. Because let's just be real here. If Logan Ryan hadn't been re-signed, we wouldn't be worrying about the Leonard Williams contract right now.
At all.
If we hadn't re-signed Logan Ryan, we could probably be getting Leonard Williams and Kenny Golladay right now.
We'd be up $7 million right now. So, I mean, the thing is with Logan Ryan, it was completely a culture signing. That's the only way you can justify it, because just imagine right now we play last year and, you know, Logan Ryan isn't on the team, and the Giants go out and sign Logan Ryan to a deal that's paying him $7 million. People will be angry right now. So,
and I should clarify that I'm not in any way mad to have Logan Ryan on the team. He's a great player. Exactly. He's a great leader. I'm just saying, if you want to look towards organizational inefficiency and you want to look towards those dollars that you want to hold on to for guys like Kenny Golladay, look right there, man.
Yep.
I missed that last part, by the way. Oh, who specifically were you guys talking about?
Logan Ryan.
Okay, then. And I mean, yeah, Logan Ryan, eh? If you're looking for guys that you really want to question, why was Hub with no glasses timed out? I just saw. Hello, Hub with no glasses.
Because he was spamming, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I'm guessing he was spamming, and I looked at the deleted messages. Can I be acknowledged by the Hub? You got your acknowledgement, but it's literally because I saw you got timed out. My bad, bro.
You got the wrong kind of acknowledgement, my dude.
It is.
Justin says he didn't take it as you calling him a clown. I don't.
Who knows, man? The Twitterverse is weird, man.
Whatever. It's not.
What'd you say, Nate?
Justin says he didn't take it as you calling him a clown.
Oh, well, I mean,
odd response then.
What's going on?
I don't know, man. I'm literally about to get off Twitter because I can't even talk with people that I'm cool with without them misinterpreting it, I guess. It is what it is,
Listen,
guys.
Everybody's at their breaking point, man. They're gonna swing. They're gonna swing on everybody and everybody, man.
Everybody right now is either mad that we didn't sign Kenny Golladay yet, mad that people want to sign Kenny Golladay, or they're mad because of the Leonard Williams contract. So everybody's just angry.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people that just are mad that we haven't signed like 7 people today.
Yeah. That's just the tension brought about by the first day of free agency.
I'm gonna ask y'all a weird favor. Can y'all carry the stream for about 5 minutes? Because Justin just DM'd me. Please, I'm sorry.
No.
It's gonna take like 5 minutes.
I'm gonna probably jump off right here.
Oh, word?
Yeah,
Diggy, have a good one, man.
Hey, but thanks for having me on.
No problem,
Adios,
guys.
Diggy.
Go over and check out Diggy's stream.
Enjoy the rest of this
channel.
insane night.
Hopefully
you get Kenny Golladay, my dude.
Hopefully.
Shout out to Sugar Tots for becoming a member again, basically rejoining. Thank you so much, Sugar Tots. But yeah, can y'all handle the stream for 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure. My son. I'm sorry, Justin. I didn't mean it, Justin. I didn't mean it. Please.
Yeah. Hub has been called down to the principal's office, dude.
Yeah, he has. So, all right. So, yeah, Sugar Tots, thank you for joining the membership, man, even though it's not my channel. But you guys go ahead and talk more in the chat. As far as that goes, did we see any more signings yet?
No, I've been looking. I haven't seen anything just yet.
You know, one guy that's still out there that is like he's a sleeper because I don't know how much he's going to get paid. I don't know how the market really views him, but Hassan Reddick, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I love Hassan Reddick, but the thing is, he's such a question mark because 1 year at pass rusher, had a good year at pass rusher, but it's 1 year. And
it's
so
an interesting name to watch. Certainly.
Right. Nobody's going to want to give him $15 million, but maybe he will get signed for $15 million. That's the big question there, but I really want.
And another interesting name to watch is your boy, Josh Reynolds. That's an interesting guy to watch too.
Yes, I like Josh Reynolds. He always, every time I watch a Rams game, the dude always pops up, and I'm like, oh, that dude's pretty good. I don't even know who he is. So
he always just flashes on the screen for a quick second, and he's gone.
Right. Yeah. I think Josh Reynolds was like our Darius Slayton. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Another random dude that just popped up, and he's a good receiver. And listen, Josh Reynolds is on a stacked wide receiving core, man. Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods and
Van
Jefferson.
To flash with those guys.
Right, it's not easy, and he goes out there and does his thing.
How'd it go there,
Hub? Shout out to Danny Thomas for the $2 super chat. Did the Giants sign anybody? As of right now, just Devontae Booker, and we're good. Everything is good between me and Justin. All good.
What happened?
He just messaged me to clear up that he had no hard feelings about it, and I was trying to get him to basically get to talk to him anyway in general, because to try and get him back on the Young Guns podcast. He's been super busy. He let me know and whatnot. We might get him on for the 31st, though, not confirmed yet, which is going to be the last Wednesday of this month. By the way, this Wednesday of the Young Guns podcast, I will guest for this week will be Steffi Smalls from Twitter.
What a transition into the plug. That was
I know. And then
that was
right there.
Smooth.
That was smooth.
And that is why he is my co-host, man.
That
was smooth.
So this week we got Steffi Smalls, and next week we might be having Bobby Skinner on, and then the week after that it might be Justin Pennick. So I think that's a pretty good lineup.
Respect to that. That was well done, Hub. That was professional right there.
You see, now,
that was professional.
I want to be a broadcaster, low key. It is what it is. But Danny Thomas,
you are a broadcaster, Hub. You're a broadcaster. It counts.
Yeah.
We got Andy Dalton Jr. in the chat, who is AKA Nate's.
God, they really did him my boy.
I finally have a bot.
Yeah, look at that. Hey, yeah.
But
by the way, it is kind of sad that they're all Viz, but it is what it is. I'll take it nonetheless.
All right, Mellow World. Somebody else said this as well, that they get a feeling we're not going to get Golladay. The only way, actually, I shouldn't say the only way. It's a legit thing to have, because there's legitimate teams with better cap space than us in contention for him.
That's the only thing. I feel like the Giants would automatically be the number one team if we rescind Leonard Williams' contract.
Probably.
The Giants would automatically be the number one team. You save another night. Now, I'm not saying to throw $19 million at Kenny Golladay. I say compete at a good pace with the Jaguars. Don't just say, I hope the bidding is not at like $15 million and then the Giants rescind the contract and say, no, $19 million right there. No, I don't want to do that. I want to
chips into the middle.
Yeah, I want to fight for a little bit, see how cheap we can get them. But listen, man, if we rescind that contract, we are in really good position for Golladay.
I want to say this makes me hate the fact that the Bears tagged Allen Robinson just a lot more, because if he was on the market, I would think that
he's going to be on the market. By the way,
he said
like if he was on the market today.
I know.
Agent, I know what you mean. He would go first, and that way we could really see where like that top.
That could either help our chances or break our chances, just so you know. Because if he were to go somewhere and get signed for $21 million,
help us.
Like a lot of people are saying that he would be, like 21 to 25, like with DeAndre Hopkins type stuff. Listen, we're not getting Kenny Golladay.
Yeah.
All right, Dylan is asking a lot of questions all in a row. So let's take these one at a time. Okay, is Curtis Samuel still available? Yes, he is. Is Ryan Kerrigan a sleeper in free agency? I don't think so. Do we sign Golladay to a contract worth $18 million? Probably not. Is Dalvin coming back? Probably not. Is Leo being an ass? Definitely yes. And then he has Waddle over Bateman over Chase over Smith. And as usual, you are dead wrong, Dylan. Thanks for playing.
What the hell?
You got Smith behind all three of them?
I mean, I'm happy he likes Waddle. I mean, I guess one thing was right.
If he had Smith in the second position, I'm like, you know what? I can understand, because that was a legitimate debate at the beginning of the draft process in the first place. You have him ranked fourth.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
You know how there's some characters on TV shows that their entire personality is their politics? Dylan's entire personality is hating Jamar Chase.
Yes.
No. His entire personality is hating Jamar Chase. That's all it is. That's all he says. That's all he thinks about. He lives, breathes. He is Jamar Chase slander. That's just what it is.
As far as Kerrigan goes, Kerrigan will be a good signing for a championship team.
Kerrigan was on the market.
Yeah, Kerrigan will be a good signing.
Bateman is Adams with Julio hands. What?
The only Hot's Hall is Julio, bro. Let's look up Julio's metrics.
6'5".
6'5"? I thought he was like 6'3".
I thought he was pretty tall. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Julio is 6'3", and how much does he weigh?
He's just a big body guy. That's why he looks a lot taller.
Yeah.
6'3", 220. Because I've heard somebody compare Bateman to Julio before just because of the size and the speed, and I'm like, I guess
They're not the same.
I don't see it because Julio, I think Bateman has more of a finesse type of play style with him. He finds a soft spot in zones.
Julio was just because of the size. That's it.
Yeah. And Julio is more comparable to Megatron. Like Julio doesn't care who's there. He's gonna moss you. I think Bateman is more of a guy that tries to find soft spots in zones.
And I think, like, to put it in another way, if you look at just sort of wide receiver traits, right, and you think of it like video game sliders, and you think of like Bateman, maybe his route running is like 3/4 of the way filled up, and his speed is about the same, et cetera, all the way down the traits. That's fine, and you want to use that for comps to pro players, sure. Julio is kind of a difficult player to compare anyone to because his sliders are just all the way full. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard to really
route running, everything. Yeah.
It's hard to say that anybody is Julio Jones because Julio Jones does literally everything. I think some people fail to remember. I think there's some long-term memory loss. People only remember what have you done for me recently. Over the last couple of years, he's been injured. He's been playing hurt. He hasn't been playing full seasons. Some people fail to remember what Julio Jones has always been as a wide receiver. Some people just don't understand why he was the best receiver in the league for a long, long, long time. Guys, stop comparing people to Julio Jones.
They do that with anybody, not just Julio.
Oh, I know.
Quachi made a comment, and it's fair to discuss because I know a lot of people will be thinking about that. He says, I like Bateman at 11. Waddle's too short for 50-50 balls in Garrett's offense. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I would say to you, Quachi. Who says Waddle's going to be handling 50-50 balls? If you get Waddle in that offense, he creates yards of separation. Okay, so he's not going to be forced to be put in 50-50 ball situations because he can create separation. That's just Waddle. That's just what Waddle does. He has phenomenal route running, and so does Sterling Shepard. But Waddle's better. Waddle's faster. Waddle's a better route runner. Actually, I don't know about that. Sterling Shepard's a phenomenal route runner.
Sterling Shepard, the thing that makes that difference happen is that Sterling Shepard probably has better technical route running. Right. Jalen Waddle also has excellent technical route running, and that route running is boosted by his explosiveness.
Yes, exactly.
And since he's so explosiveness, those excellent cuts and moves and technician abilities are just they look even better and they get more separation.
I can guarantee you. Listen. Jason Garrett might be an idiot, but he's not stupid. Okay, so
that's good.
You know, he's not gonna put Waddle on a curl every once in like every single down. Like that, if he's drafted, that's our number 11 overall pick. Listen, they're gonna put Waddle in some designed plays for him. I promise you that.
Oh boy, Bobby Murphy in the stream.
Shout out to Bobby Murphy, local Eagles fan. By the way, shout out to Mike. Thank you for tuning in, Mike. I unfortunately didn't get to do the Knicks game. This stream, by the way, the max is gonna go is probably like 30 more minutes just because I really want to take a look at that Knicks game. But sure. Mike, have a good one, man. I was gonna look at him with him, but yeah, we got time. Continue, guys. Continue. You guys were saying something.
I wasn't in the middle of saying anything.
I had just finished saying my thought.
Yeah, I think KB finished his sentence. Hub, were you not listening to what KB was saying?
Wow.
Well, it's
wow.
because I was responding to trolls on Twitter.
Do.
I'm sorry that it's not. I guess technically this is Just Chillin, so it's even worse because I'm the only host on Just Chillin. But by the way, I was just responding to trolls on Twitter. I sent both of y'all the troll on Twitter DMs. But Niall Kelly. No, the Curtis Samuel signing is not confirmed. I think that might be it for tonight in terms of confirmed contracts and whatnot. It went at kind of a bit late. Interesting tweet here by NFL Update. It says only one cornerback has signed with a new team so far, Ronald Darby to the Broncos. The remaining available cornerbacks, William Jackson, Shaquille Griffin, Richard Sherman, Patrick Peterson, Casey Hayward, Malcolm Butler, Xavier Rhodes, Mike Hilton, DJ Hayden, Brian Poole, Janoris Jenkins, AJ Boye. So are you guys surprised that only one guy has signed? And is there anybody from that long list that I listed that you're looking at?
I mean,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Nate.
I think with some of those guys on that list, it's not necessarily surprising. Like I'm not super surprised that AJ Boya hasn't gotten signed yet. I mean, we all know that that's not exactly a stable option for anybody. But with some of those guys, it's easy to forget with all these moves being made so fast that there can only be so many signings at once. It's not all going to happen immediately. It's not going to be like Madden where you press the button, the week advances, and everyone's already signed their contracts. It's not going to be like that. It is probably going to happen pretty fast, and it has been happening fast, but let's slow our roll here.
Yeah, and as far as cornerbacks goes, it's such a highly demanded position in free agency every single year. There's odds are all those guys have a bunch of contract offers to discuss and see which one is the best move to make. So obviously, they probably don't have just one or two offers on the table. They probably have multiple, and they got to see which one, who they're going to sign with. So I mean, I would say that it's fine. The corners are. I think it's normal that all the corners haven't signed yet.
And I'll be right back. I just got to grab a drink.
For sure. And Tommy O.C. asking, Parson going to the Giants with 5 question marks. I'm going to be completely honest with you, Tommy. If the allegations are false, he should be a legitimate target for us in the draft. If the allegations are true, no. But even if the allegations are false, we've seen how even not even as serious ones have affected players like Leonard Williams. Like he was accused of just smoking weed. Parsons is accused of something way more serious, and Leonard Williams dropped. So I mean, it's really kind of a weird situation. But if they're false, he should 100% be a legitimate target for us at 11. I'll say that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I just don't know how I feel about getting a lot. Of course, I've always wanted a first-round inside linebacker or a first-round linebacker for a long time. But then now we have Blake Martinez, and I really don't think it's a first-round necessity. On top of that, he's only played 2 seasons, maybe basically 1.5. And Parsons has a lot of question marks that people point out. So listen, man, I want a receiver. That's it. I don't care. I want a receiver. The top 4 guys are gone. I'm taking Bateman. That's it. So that's where I think of it. And shout out to I have another troll account. It's KB's left eyebrow.
Shout out to BQC15, a Patriots fan in here. He says the Pats went off in free agency. I'm so happy we picked up Jonnu. Huge pickup. I agree with him. I think Jonnu Smith was a underrated signing. And I know a lot of people were kind of turned off by the fact that the contract that he got, but I think it was super underrated. Pair that with Aguilar, that's 2 just players that I think could do really well over there in New England.
I like Jonnu, and I hope they're able to use Jonnu well. This is a team that used to have Robert Gronkowski, so they probably know how to use tight ends pretty well. I like Jonnu. It's just that I had Jonnu on fantasy probably for I think this year, maybe last year as well. And this is just fantasy speaking, but there are some times where he had scored 0 points or a half a point, which means no production. So and consistency, that means inconsistency. So you're going to sign a tight end for big money. Trust me, his talent is worth the money. The problem is, will his production be worth the money? A very Evan Ingram type situation. So,
and I think the big thing there is that obviously he's getting paid just so much. Yeah, I would not have signed him for nearly that much. But hey, it's like I said earlier, the Patriots are very much going out there and overpaying for everything they see. They can afford to. They have that much cap space. But like you said, it's a consistency thing. I think a lot of that comes down to the Titans offense. I think a lot of times when the Titans were rolling on offense, it was because either they were doing it with the run or they were doing it with the pass. Very rarely were they doing it with both at the same time. Either Henry was rolling and he was just taking over the game, or Ryan Tannehill was taking over the offense. Sometimes, obviously, not to say Derrick Henry was ever not part of the game plan, but usually either they were just absolutely steamrolling the living hell out of the defense's front 7, or they were just ripping him in half over the top.
Shout out to Harrison Jolly in here. He says, watch us sign Golladay within the next few hours. If I go to sleep and Kenny Golladay signs...
What if you end the stream and 5 minutes later Kenny Golladay signs with the Giants? How about
I don't know about that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a midnight signing because we signed Blake Martinez at midnight.
It's possible.
I don't think it's over because sometimes we see signings happen 2:00 in the morning when it comes to free agency day. So
I'm going to be staying up tonight.
Yeah, sometimes those things happen, but does anybody know how much Ronald Darby got?
I don't
remember.
But Levi, the only thing I could assume is we're taking it slow. As of right now, we got nothing in money.
So Darby got 3 years, $30 million, so $10 million a year. Okay, I mean that's good money.
Guys, we got 110 people in here, but only 50 likes. Like the stream up, man. Get it to at least 65.
Guys, like it.
Come on, guys, like that stream.
Jay Berman says, I want Van Noy. He fits our
So do I.
scheme, and at around $7 million, he would be a good signing. I know
I
KB
absolutely
doesn't
want
want Van
Van
Noy, though.
I think Van Noy is such an overrated dude. I hate Van Noy.
I think
hate is a strong word.
I think he's extremely inconsistent because with the Patriots, they didn't even know what to do with him. They put him at pass rusher, and then he would be inconsistent. Then they put him at off-ball linebacker, and he was still inconsistent.
Consistent in the stat sheet. Maybe he's inconsistent in the stat sheet.
No, he's inconsistent on film. I mean, he's a guy that you'll see jump around. Like I watched a little bit of him on film, and he's a guy that you see jumping around, and being around the area. But he was like never an impact player in New England. Like I never saw him as being an impact guy. And on top of that, where are we gonna put him at edge rusher? I ain't paying him to be an edge rusher, a full-time edge rusher.
Backer.
Yeah, and then put him at a money backer. I mean, I feel like we could find someone better than that for cheaper. I mean, I think Kyle Van Noy is overrated. He's way overrated.
Like Kyle Van Noy.
That's why Miami got rid of him.
I just like him more.
Miami got rid of him because they're gonna use that money, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, this isn't really like
they don't need him. He didn't have a fantastic year. He had a rather
good year.
Pedestrian.
I mean, yeah, I would say he had a good year, and I think pairing him with Tay Crowder on the inside would be a really good, solution at linebacker too.
Oh, at linebacker too. All right. Yeah. I think this isn't like a philosophical thing. This isn't like a where would you rather spend money thing. I think this is just a straight disagreement. I just like him better than you do, and that's fair. At the end of the day, it's a matter of opinion. Yeah. I think he's an incredibly good fit for what we're trying to do on defense. I think he's got that versatility, that word we all love to throw around. I think he's a Patrick Graham type player all the way. I would love that signing, and it looks like he's going to be relatively cheap. I would love that.
Mizrahi, I mean, first of all, thank you for still being here. Mizrahi is kind of down in the dumps right now with the Giants. All I could say to you, man, is try and keep the faith. I mean, we are an improving team at the end of the day. Like, you look at last year, we are definitely an improving team.
It's going uphill.
And yeah, it's going uphill. And I'll say this once again, nobody liked our signings and the way we moved in free agency last year. And in my opinion, the Giants had one of the best free agencies last year, just looking at the production we got out the players that we got. So dude, I mean, it's looking very similar this year. Like, nobody's liking it so far.
I'm confused. The Patriots. This is what Arjun just said. Patriots resigned Dietrich Wise to 4 years, $30 million. What?
That
that's confirmed. That's confirmed.
That's confirmed.
Now.
Why the hell did they do that?
Hell?
I'm seeing it on Twitter right now.
They were just on a roll and they want to throw their money away.
They had a lot of money to throw.
They just got Henry Anderson. Why the hell did they? What the hell?
The Patriots are like that old Oilers offense right before they got their franchise changed. It was going so well, but they didn't have an off switch, and they lost it at the end of every game. The offense would throw and throw and throw and accumulate touchdowns, and then throw 7 interceptions in the last quarter of the game and lose. That's what this is. They don't have an off switch.
Dietrich Wise is a full-time pass rusher, and even Kyle Van Noy had a better stat sheet than Dietrich Wise. That is crazy. Yo, Dietrich Wise, first of all, he's one of the guys I look at when I say the Patriots can't draft. That's one of the guys I look at when I say that the Patriots cannot draft. And they signed this guy for 4 years, $30 million. He had 2.5 sacks last season. Total 14 sacks in his whole career. That's 4 years, 14 sacks. Okay, and he's played in all 16 games and never started over 10 games. Never started over 10 games.
I don't get this at all.
That's insane.
I don't get this at all. This makes no sense to me. I mean, it's just
freaking Patriots, dude.
It's a massive overpay. It just
man,
I don't get it.
Weird moves, man. They make some weird moves.
I will say this: Mizrahi says he wants an edge rusher. Like that's I'm guessing that's what he's looking for. I'll tell you this, bro. The good edge rushers are gone.
Hassan Reddick, baby. Hassan Reddick. Keep your hopes. Look, they just signed Marcus Golden back, right? Somebody said they signed Marcus Golden back.
They did.
That means Hassan Reddick's done. He's out of there. You can't have
How much is Hassan Reddick going to go for?
Yeah,
that's a good question, too, considering how the other edge rushers went for.
Yeah, and the Cardinals are not going to bring him back. J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, Zach Allen. You just brought back Marcus Golden. They have too much pass rush.
Yeah, he's probably going to walk.
Yeah, he's going to walk.
I'm not that high on Reddick. I think there's a good possibility of him being worth any money he's paid. It's not like a slam dunk.
I just think that we would get a lot of value in how cheap we can get him.
Yeah, you like the value. That's
how cheap do you think we could get him for?
That's fair.
I think the cheapest, and this is we're going to kind of stretch reality a little bit, but the cheapest you can get Hassan Reddick for is around $9 to $10 million a year because he only had one season at pass rusher. So that is how much I would stretch reality and say that's how cheap we can get Hassan Reddick, and the amount of value would be insane in his first year if he goes off, and then who knows, in the future we restructure his contract and make it worthwhile for his value. But I would love bringing Hassan Reddick in here for freaking $11, $12, $13 million and seeing what he can do, man. If he can get the same amount of sacks as he's getting per mil, like $12 million, 12 sacks, I'll take that all day.
so let me ask you something, KB. Would you rather bring in Kenny Golladay or get a guy like Reddick and then another value corner?
Well, that's the thing. In order for us to get Reddick, in order for us to get Reddick, we would have to rescind Leonard Williams' contract. It's the only way I see that happening. So I believe we can get Reddick, and we could
also get Golladay.
Possibly, but then that would get our chances away from getting a corner. So we can possibly. I don't know. Yeah, you could real quick, the contracts there.
I do want to say this. I wanted Bud Dupree really bad, bro. That's who I was basically spamming for the Giants for the past 2 weeks. But there wasn't really anything that's bad.
I can see why. Listen, the Giants are trying to compete very soon, and you don't get a guy for $16 million that's not going to play this season.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to try and compete very soon, but we're trying to compete in our division.
Yeah, right.
And by the way, speaking of our division, the NFC East as a whole today has been quiet, so it's not just the Giants.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Talking on Bud Dupree specifically, I think in general, it was really easy to get hyped up for him and really easy to get hyped up for a potential signing there because he offers so much upside when he's healthy, and also it's never a guarantee when these guys come back they're going to come back as strong as they were before. So I think with Bud Dupree, there's just so much risk. There's so much guaranteed loss. Right. There's so much guaranteed loss on this contract, considering you're not getting him for most of the first year. I just was never too into it. I think if we could get him for a good deal, then I would have been all for it. But like, if we were going to have to go out there and pay him premium edge rusher money, I wasn't too into it.
Happy Huntsman, he mentions my career real quick. He's a Kid Blue. Are you RCA or CCA? I'm an RCA. It's an all RCA office, so we're all rural carriers. So we don't have any CCAs in there. And
rural carrier, city carrier.
Yeah. So like the post office. So he was asking if I was RCA or CCA. So we are like the only office in our district that is strictly rural carriers, Huntsman. So it's a lot better. I hate how CCAs do things, and I hate how they get paid and all that stuff. If you're a CCA, I apologize, but
you just lost all the CCA subscribers you had.
I just love being RCA. I love being RCA. So
real quick, guys, we're getting to that point. If you watch the hub and you want to support the channel, here's a word from the sponsor. It's been rolling down below all the time. 20% off and free shipping from Manscaped. Use the code HUB HUB. I'm gonna roll the clip and then we're gonna get right back to it. So Manscaped hooked me up with a bunch of tools and formulations from their Perfect Package 3.0 kit. So if you guys know Manscaped, then you know the lawnmower, and that comes with the Perfect Package 3.0. The all-new Lawnmower 3.0 has that cutting-edge ceramic blade and their new advanced skin-safe technology to prevent nicks and cuts when grooming down there. They really went above and beyond with this. It's also waterproof and it has an LED light for when it gets dark in these situations. But that's just the lawnmower. The Perfect Package also came with the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. Pair that up with their Crop Reviver in the package, and you got the perfect duo to prevent the jewels from sweating, smelling, and sticking to yourself. Now, they already hooked me up with the Perfect Package 3.0, but they threw in 2 free gifts as well. Their anti-chafing Manscaped boxer briefs and a travel shed bag to store all of these grooming materials. I gotta tell you guys, the anti-chafing boxer briefs, they are probably the most comfortable pair of underwear that I ever worn in my life. Highly recommend them. Never do you ever have to go and get some second-rate products and materials to take care of yourself again. You guys know about Manscaped. They're the only company in the world that does this and that specializes in this. So go over there right now. Use the promo code HUB HUB, get 20% off and free shipping on your order. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. All right, yeah, no.
I think
Your
there's
balls will thank you.
there's just one line in there that always troubles me when you play that ad.
Yeah.
It's when you're showing off the light thing and you say for when these situations get dark.
Yeah,
And I'm
in
like,
these
who
dark
is doing this in the dark?
Whoa.
What
You know,
situation would that ever
we
be
get talking
necessary
points
for?
that we gotta hit. We just gotta hit the talking points, bro.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
We
Fair
got
enough.
lines we got to hit.
Yeah, it is what it is. The runner says 2 years, 5 million. Manscaped robbed the hub. Yo, I actually signed my contract with them the other day. Low key, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Low key, I should have gotten more, bro. It is what it is, though.
You got a permanent
Your
contract?
agent done messed up.
My agent is myself, so I mean that might explain it.
You got a permanent contract?
No, it's a couple month one, 3-4 month one.
Okay. Oh, good. That's good. Yeah, I'm still waiting on because I got mine a little later than yours. I'm still waiting on mine. I'm catching up.
Yeah, guys. KB also got it as well. So if you see it on Young Guns, don't be annoyed by us, please. Please don't.
Yeah,
But
We'll do our best.
It's our job. It's our job.
Yeah. Arjun says my dad is watching the stream. I don't have headphones. He is surprised.
Hey man, we're doing
what it
big
is.
things here, man. In the sports, in the YouTube sports community, man. I'm loving how we're growing. And like, first of all, when I saw Hub got it, I was extremely excited. And then all of a sudden, I checked my email. Then I got, I'm like, yo, we're expanding. man.
We have the same KB and I. We have the same Manscaped rep too. So
Yeah,
I
we
don't
have the
think
same
that's a
rep.
coincidence.
So you know what's crazy? Yeah, and we could just talk a little bit here. You know the rep, you know, when he first hit you up, he's like, hey, I found you from a fellow podcaster or a fellow like content creator. I thought it was you, but then you showed me the email, and then he said the same thing. So like, where did this come from?
You know who I think it is, and I'm gonna give a shout out to them. I think it was Justin Pennick and the guys at Talking Giants because they got it first.
They got it too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Talking Giants, man. Shout out to Talking Giants.
New York Finest says Carlos Hyde is the same amount as this Booker guy signing, and he's way better. Carlos Hyde? I wouldn't say he's better than Booker.
Man, what? Carlos Hyde is, dude. Carlos Hyde was good coming out of Ohio State a couple years ago with the 49ers, but he's a guy that is just like he is a I'm trying to think of the word here. I'm trying to think of another running back. Just a stand-in running back that can run for 1,000 yards, but just a stand-in running back. You don't want him leading your offense. You don't want to sign him to big money either. So I'm not taking Carlos Hyde.
It's about to be 10 o'clock here, Harrison. Harrison's all the way over in Australia, by the way, guys. We got
Australia.
watching.
That's Australian Daniel Jones right there, man.
Why'd you type this? Yo, do you look at what you type before you send it, Mike? I agree with the first part. The second part, I'm gonna have to go and judge. But I agree with the first part.
But
I'm gonna have to judge you.
And then the third part with the emojis is even worse.
Y'all,
Viz,
that's
you?
nothing. If you think that,
That's Viz.
come on, guys. You know that's nothing. Viz you haven't seen Viz at his strongest. You haven't seen Viz do his worst.
In a stream that's not monetized.
You haven't seen Viz do his worst until you've watched a PTA Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Twitch stream. Go watch one of his Hall of Fame League streams. You will see Viz going off in that chat.
Or was it Australia or was it New Zealand, Harrison? I know you're from over there, bro. My bad if I got it wrong. It's out of
New Zealand.
I think it's New Zealand. Yeah.
Was it
New Zealand?
Harrison Jolly is New Zealand, I think.
Damn,
Bet,
you
there
just
you go.
lost a sub.
Yeah.
God damn.
Harrison's going. But guys, that's gonna be it for tonight. Just because I don't have that much time. Shout out to the Raiders fan here. We got a last minute Raiders fan. Like a glove. Booker is really solid. Maybe a touch overpaid, but don't sleep. Hey, that's what I'm saying. He gonna be good. And we got Engraven tuning in as well.
Raven, what's up?
He's
Shout out
gonna fit
to
in like a
Raven.
glove.
How you doing?
Engraven,
What up,
you're gonna
Engraven?
enjoy Kevin Zeitler, by the way, because his Ravens.
Yes,
signed
you
Kevin
will
Zeitler.
enjoy Kevin Zeitler, man. Congratulations. And listen, you guys didn't have to overpay Matt Judon. He's gone. So you guys can focus
you
on
go.
a better pass rusher now.
I
So
mean,
I think it all worked out for the Ravens.
I still think it's kind of sad because they don't got any pass rusher right now.
And what's their cap situation looking like? Because they could
I
be a
don't know.
sleeper for Kenny Golladay, man. And I'll Engraven, we'll have to.
Don't say that, Kate.
Yeah, they might be a little sleeper. They might pop up out of nowhere and say he's going to Ravens. That would be insane.
Don't say that, KB.
But yeah,
I
I
don't wanna
really
hear it.
want to go more, but I'm really gonna have to end it. KB, maybe you continue it over on your channel if you got the time. I'm not sure, but I do have to dip right now.
Yeah, I won't be able to.
I'm getting ready to call it too.
But shout out to everybody in here. Thank you all for tuning in. We had a great crowd. Had 100 people watching at one point. You guys were amazing. If you're new to the channel, like it up, subscribe. These podcasts, even though it's a Giants channel, we always talk general NFL. So even if you're just not a Giants fan, you tune in, check it out. Check out Nate's channel, Nate Talks Giants, and Kid Blue's channel, my co-host, partner in crime for the Young Guns podcast every Wednesday. Check that out as well. That's it for now, guys.
Being listened to.
We're out.
Hub just wasn't listening.
What happened?
You just weren't listening to your co-host earlier tonight. The listening skills weren't there.
I'm sorry, man. I'm